and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today is July 1st, and you know what that means? It is Christmas in July. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. But before we get to the video and the playlist, I want to introduce you to two of my grandkids. We have Bradley over here, and we have my sweet Danny over here. I am so excited to have them here for this summer, and we are having loads of fun. But before we get on with the video, I just want to say, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda. You've already met my grandkids, and this is my Oliver. And if you're returning, you know we love you. So with all that being said, what do we say? Let's get to crafting. Okay, DIY number one. So for this DIY, I'm going to take this round that I got from Chalk Couture, and then I'm going to take this Chalk Couture transfer that I had in my stash for a while. I got this back in 2020, I believe it was, or 21, and I don't believe they have it anymore, and this is the first time I'm using it. So since it's the first time, I'm going to fuzz it. That way it doesn't stick so much on my round and makes it hard to pull up or pulls up my chalk paste. So once I am done here, I'm going to lay it on, and I did fuzz it half at a time. I'm going to lay it on my round here, and I am going to go ahead and smooth it all out, make sure there's no bubbles or wrinkles, and then I'm going to use this new color chalk paste called Scout, and then I'm also going to use red, which is cherry, and then my bright white. And I'm going to go over the greenery with the Scout color. I do go over the berries with white, and then halfway through I'm like, wait, these are berries, what am I doing? So I also went over it with the red, which really gave it a cool look because you can kind of see the white and the red. But anyways, and then I'll go over joy with the white. Now, if you're not familiar with Chalk Couture, this is a self-adhesive silk screen transfer or stencil basically, and we use chalk paste on it, which can be washable. So you do want to spray, if you want your stuff to be permanent, you do want to spray it with a clear coat to protect it. And but I am a Chalk Couture designer. I do have a link to my page in the description box below. If you ever have any questions about it, feel free to email me. I'd be happy to answer any questions, or you can just check out my page and you'll see you'll get a lot of information from that. Now, I do normally recommend our Club Couture, which is a monthly subscription program. It's $21.99 a month. You get an exclusive 8x11 transfer, plus 3 coordinating chalk paste, and sometimes it comes with a surface with it. And if you sign up for that, you do have to sign up for at least 3 months before you can cancel, but it's a great way to get started and to try it out. We also have a new perks member, and all of that information can be read about in my description box on my link. So once I was done with that, I cleaned off my stencil there, and then once this was dry, I took some twine, I tied knots on the end. I'm bringing the folded loop through, and then I'm going to put it through the part that has the ties. I hope that makes sense. And then pulled tight. Then I am going to remove the knot on the ends, and I am going to put some tape. I'm going to tape the ends together so that I can push it through those beads. And I'm going to add 3 red beads and 3 brown beads. Now, these beads I got from Walmart after Christmas. They always have these 12-foot beaded garlands, and I always like to pick some up because they always have such fun ones to look at, and it's just great to have on hand. So then once I had my beads on there, I'm just going to tie a knot to keep those beads in place, and then I'm going to cut off that tape from the ends, and then I'm going to take those ends and tie another knot to create a loop, and then I'll just cut off the extra twine. And when you cut off the extra twine, you don't want to cut too far to the knot because then it might unravel. Ask me how I know. Anyways, I took this beautiful bow that my best friend Kathy Jo with Kathy Jo's DIY made me. She made me a whole bunch of them when she knew I was going to stop by and visit her for my very short visit, and I was so excited that I was able to use it. And there it is. It's very simple, guys. I don't have any of my Christmas stuff down from the attic yet, so I'm just kind of having to do make things with what I have available at the time, but I think it came out really pretty. You'll have to let me know what you think, and just use this as inspiration and use what you have to create something beautiful. Okay, so today is the first of the month, and every first of the month I host this playlist with my friend Krista with Krista's Crafty Life. This month's theme is Christmas in July. Ready or not, here it is. And we have a whole playlist full of some Christmas in July ideas for you. So make sure you check out the playlist and Krista. I have the links to them both in my description box. So here's DIY number 2. So I'm going to take these letters from Hobby Lobby. They're 4-inch letters. I'm going to paint the J with the 2 little blocks with my white. I'm going to paint the O with the 2 little blocks and that wood piece with apple barrel burnt umber. I'm going to paint the white with, I'm sorry, not white, the Y and the little blocks with my red or crimson by Waverly. So before I painted the brown with the brown, I decided, or burnt umber, I should say, I decided to spray it with water because I wanted it to be a little more like a stain, but I probably should have sprayed it with more water because it was still pretty dark or darker than what I wanted. So once I finished brushing this all onto my O, I took a napkin and or a paper towel, and I wiped off all the excess just like you would using the antique wax. But it still was too dark, and so I used a baby wipe instead, and that really helped lighten it up. So I did that with the wood piece as well. And then once I was done, I created this with my Cricut. I'm just going to attach it to my wood piece here. And then after that, I do have some Christmas stencils here in one of my drawers. And so I found this one with the snowflake, and I am just going to use my Waverly chalk paint in the color white, and I'm going to add a snowflake to each end of my wood plank here or the each end of the word. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, you guys. I hope you do. Anyways, when I get done with that one, then I decided I wanted a snowflake on my O as well. So I'm going to make 4 snowflakes on my O. And for some reason, I thought you needed to watch me do 4 snowflakes on my O. I am sorry, because you probably don't really need to see me doing 4 snowflakes, but that's what happens when I'm watching TV with my grandkids while I'm editing. I say that all the time, and it's true. I edit, and then I'm kind of not paying as close of attention as I should when I'm watching TV. So once I have this all on there, I am going to use my wood glue and my hot glue. I'm going to glue 2 of those blocks together. So I have 3 sets no, I lied. I glued both of them to the back of my letters. That's what I did. I didn't glue them together. I just glued them on the back, just like you see. Then I was going to, I used my wood glue and hot glue, and I started to glue the letters onto my block, and then I went, oh no, like Kathy Joe. And I wanted to do something on my Y and my J. So I took my Y, and I'm using my white chalk paint, and I'm just going to use that round sponge dauber to dab on some whatever. Anyways, on some polka dots. And when you use this, it doesn't give a real smooth look. It kind of has a dimpling look, which I don't really like. So once I have all my polka dots on here, then I'm going to take a small paintbrush and dip it in my white paint, and I'm going to go paint all around the inside of the dots to just kind of give it more of a smoother look. And then once I am done with that, I'm going to take my J, and I'm going to use the crimson color chalk paint. I'm going to do the same thing, and then I will use a small brush to paint it all in as well. Once I was done with that, I am going to use my wood glue and hot glue to glue both of those, or the rest of those letters, onto my little wood piece there. I'm going to make a finger bow, a double loop, and I'm just going to wrap my fingers twice. I'm going to take that in, go between my fingers, bring it up through that loop that I just made, and then I'm going to pull tightly. Now I do this very slowly so that you guys can see it, because it's kind of hard to explain, and I really fumble over myself most of the time trying to explain it. So then after that, I'm going to take some of this ribbon. I've had this since I started my channel, and I think I got it at Hobby Lobby, but it might have been Walmart. And I'm just going to make a bow doing the awareness ribbon, and I'm going to scrunch it up in the middle, and then I'm going to use that twine to tie a knot in the middle to hold it in place. And then after it is tied, I will cut off the excess of the twine there, and then I'm going to dovetail the ends by folding it in half and cutting at an angle. Then I'm going to glue that to the bottom of my O, and then I'm going to glue that twine bow on top of it, and that is all there is for this. I love how this turned out. It is a fun little shelf setter, perfect for Christmas. I hope you like it as well. Let me know in the comment box below. Okay guys, I just wanted to stop in real quick. I hope you're enjoying this video. I have to say, it's hard getting into the Christmas mood when it's 100 degrees outside, and I have kids, I have grandkids, and nephews and niece, and family members all over the place swimming and having fun, and all my Christmas stuff is still up in storage. So yes, it made it a little challenging to make these DIYs today, but I think I did a pretty good job with all things considered. But I hope you're enjoying this video, and I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're new here and you enjoy home decor on a budget, make sure you hit that red subscribe button before you go. Become part of our YouTube family, and then let me know you're new here. I love to get to know you. So with all that, let's continue on with the video. Okay, DIY number 3. So for this DIY, I'm going to take a 12 by 12 piece of wood plywood from Woodpecker's Crafts. I marked off, I think, 2 inches from the top and the bottom, and I'm going to paint the back and the middle with my Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster. Then I used my painter's tape to protect my plaster color paint because I am a crazy painter. And I took this Folk Art True Burgundy. One of my subscribers told me she loves this color, and so I got it last year when I was doing the primitive Christmas stuff, and I just love it. And it's such a rich color, and it's going really well, almost perfect with what I'm going to use for this. So once I had that dry, I took one of these transfers from IOD. I got this last year for Christmas, or around Christmas time, before Christmas, and I'm going to take this transfer here. I'm going to place it right in the middle, and then I'm going to use my little rubbing tool to rub it right onto my board. Now, I know not a lot of you can afford IOD, and I understand because it is kind of expensive and I don't get very much of it, but this is just for inspiration, just like my Chalk Couture. If you can't afford that either, use it as an inspiration. Take what I do and look at what you have and what can you do to replace it and to make it your own. So for instance, this, I know you can find all kinds of stencils on Amazon for not a very bad price. A lot of times they come with 10 or 12 stencils for like 10, 12 bucks. So, you know, I know there's stuff about candy canes on those stencils because I have some. So, you know, just make it your own and use this as inspiration on things that you can do. So once I had that all done, I am going to add some of this braided jute ribbon that I absolutely love. This is in my Amazon store. I get this every time, and it seems like every time I run out, I go to order more and it's out of stock or whatever, and I have to wait like a couple of months before they have it back. So I need to order sooner, I guess. But anyways, I love this stuff. I use it all the time. I'm just going to glue it over where the crimson and the burgundy meet. Then I'm going to make a bow the way Kathy Jo makes it. I watched her video, and when she was showing how to make it, I'm like, that looks pretty easy. I'm going to try it. So I'm going to wrap this as 3 times, I believe I do. So as you can see, I kind of do the first part at an angle and then just start kind of wrapping over itself. And yes, my ribbon was all twisted because I had previously done this, but I wrapped it too many times and I ended up with a 5-loop bow, and I didn't like it. It was too big. So I had to undo it. So my ribbon is kind of twisted from doing that, but I just wrap it 3 times, and then I'm going to take the end. Now, you don't want to wrap around that tail. I started to, and then I'm like, wait, I don't want to do that. So I had to pull the tail out, and then I'm just going to wrap around the middle here, and I'm going to bring this long piece through what I just wrapped and then pull tightly. And then after it's all tight, you can start fluffing your bow. I will cut the end of that so that it's not so long, but I will just start pulling them out and fluffing them. And then I have a beautiful 3-loop bow, just like my best friend Kathy Jo makes. And then after that, I will, trim off the excess tails, and I'm going to dovetail again by folding in half and cutting at an angle. I will have a link to her video too, so you can see how she makes them. Then I took this. Now, I just recently found this at Dollar Tree. I thought, I'm going to see. Sometimes my Dollar Tree has their old Christmas florals still. And they had this, and I was like, perfect, because I don't want to go up my attic to 100-degree weather in my 100-degree attic to go through all my Christmas totes. So I just thought it'd be easier. And then, of course, Hobby Lobby, they already have some of their Christmas picks, and I got this one the other day. It was only a couple of dollars, so I thought it'd work out just fine for what I needed. And so I'm just kind of laying this all out, trying to see how I want to place it. And I am just going to use my stapler to keep those greenery picks in place. I'm going to staple them twice, and then I'm going to use hot glue on the back of my bow to glue that in place, and then I'm going to put a couple of staples in it as well, just to make sure that it holds in place. And then after that, I wanted this to be a hanging sign, so I'm going to take some more of that braided ribbon that I have. Oh, before I do that, I forgot, I found some poinsettias at Dollar Tree, so I'm just going to hot glue that in the middle of my bow. Then I'm going to hot glue some of this twine ribbon for a hanger, and then I'm going to use my stapler again to staple it for added protection, and there it is, or added strength I should say. And there it is. I love this. I think it is so pretty. You have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. Okay, it is a time for a celebration of your recreations. And we have Lynette. She recreated my projects and she did a beautiful job. I just love them, Lynette. Thank you. And then Belinda. Oh, these are so cute. I love your door hanger. Beautiful. And then Chris, I'm sorry. She made my Be Our Guest sign. I love it. And then Kathy, she always does a beautiful job with her paintings and her DIYs. Thank you all, ladies, for sharing. And if you have a creation or recreation that you would like me to showcase, you can send pictures to my email address that's listed there, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Here's DIY number 4. So for this DIY, I'm going to take 2 of these tree cutouts from, I think these are from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint them with Folk Art Antique Green, and then this wood piece from Dollar Tree with my Waverly chalk paint and the color plaster. Then once they were all dry, I took a stencil that I got from Amazon. It should be in my Amazon store. And I am just going over it with that antique green. That antique green is such a beautiful color. It's Kathy Jo's favorite, and she got me hooked on it. And I love it too. It's a beautiful, rich green, true green color, and I just love it. So once I was done with that, I am going to remove my stencil, and then I'm going to take this brush. Now, this is the first time I've ever used this brush, and I wasn't sure if I was using it right, but I just thought, you know what, we're just going to go with it, and we'll just see if this looks decent, because I just wanted to have it look, I don't know, like a little more like a tree with a little more dimension. So I gave it a try. Yeah, if you know how to use this brush, let me know what I could do differently. But anyways, once I was done, I took some of this black gingham ribbon from Dollar Tree. I'm going to glue it to the end of both of those, or both ends of that sign. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to lay it down on top of my trees. I'm going to use a pin, and I'm just going to mark where it's laying, so that way I know where to put my glue. So then I'm going to use my wood glue and hot glue, and I'm going to put the wood glue on the middle of my area that I marked out. And this is called a glue bot, and Kathy Jo got me this for my birthday. I do have it in my Amazon store if you're interested in it. It's great. And then I am yeah, I love it, and it works really nice. So after I had both glues there, I'm going to lay my sign down on top of my tree, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other tree, and then just lay that on top as well. And again, the hot glue is for immediate hold. The wood glue is for permanent hold. I'm going to make just some shoestring bows here. I'm going to, with that gingham ribbon, and then once I have it just like I like it, I will trim off the tail, and then I will dovetail the ends just like I do with all the rest of my bows. You can always cut them at an angle too if you'd rather do that, or you can leave them square, whatever you like, whatever makes you happy. Then I'm just going to hot glue those to each side there, and then I'm going to take some of those little blocks. I went over them with that burnt umber, and then I'm going to use my Tight Bond Quick and Thick multi-purpose glue, and I'm going to glue those 2 blocks together, and then I'm going to glue this each set on the back of the tree. And that's all there was for that. I love this. I think it is so pretty. I think it's a fun shelf sitter. And yeah, you have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Now the final reveal is coming right up. You have to let me know which one was your favorite today. And if you are not into Christmas in July, I will have a video on the 5th. It will be the 5 under 5. That will not be Christmas. So that one's for you. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you check out the playlist and Krista's channel as well, and get all kinds of inspiration, because you know what? Christmas will be here before you know it. I can't believe it, but it will be. But anyways, with all that, you guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful week and a happy 4th of July, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.